Hi, this is PR Sundar. Welcome to Pre-Market Report sponsored by Delta.Exchange. Yesterday, the inflation data came in line with expectation, but this Iran problem is escalating. And because of that, the crude prices went up and then US markets came down. And what is more significant, on Friday, there was a panic selling in US markets and Nasdaq has fallen about 6%. And then, on Monday it recovered more than 4%. But now that entire 4% is wiped out and Friday's low was broken, both in S&P 500 and Nasdaq. So that is, really very, very bearish. Maybe if a positive way, if you want to look at it, we can say it is making a double bottom and now there is some small recovery. So if this recovery has to continue to confirm that double bottom formation. Right. So that is about the US market. Once US markets falling, other markets likely to fall. So that's what is happening in Asian markets. And artificial intelligence related stocks are keep falling. Although we don't have the artificial intelligence stocks, and we are also likely to follow the global cues. Now, GIFT Nifty is indicating about 80-90 point gap down. Now, yesterday evening also I told you, if you look at the price action for the last few days, and morning, if there is a big gap up, then market falls. Or in the morning, if there's a big gap down, market rises. We can shape V-shape recovery or upside down of EV or U, you can say. No, upside down, not U. U is again is a V only. So upside down V, go up then fall. And if you look at the last 3 trading session, it's exactly the same thing. First trading day, it went up, came down. Second trading day, came down, went up. Third trading day, went up and came down. And now GIFT Nifty is indicating about 90-100 point gap down. So is it that market going to do the same thing? I still remember last Thursday Sensex expiry. I had sold both put options and call options. And market was a big gap down. And then I had to release some margin money because there was some margin more. Because on expiry day, they increased the 2% margin money. So because of that, my broker called me, sir, you overshot the margin. So please reduce the position immediately after the market opened. And we know that this is the kind of pattern that is happening. So instead of cutting the put options, I cut the call option. And I cut the call option at 12-13 rupees, then it went up to 100 rupees. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see whether the same thing, V-shaped recovery, is going to happen today or not. But yesterday I became too bearish. I just only sold a call option. I don't have a put option now. Because earlier I sold put options in Nifty weekly series, so therefore I don't want to sell put option in Sensex. I only sold call option. But anyway, if there is a 100 point gap down, and I'm sure I'm going to close the position by 9:15 as soon as the market opens. And the point here is that markets have been very, very highly volatile, and between 23,000 to 23,500 we can say. So in this 500 point range, that's a 2% range, and markets have been very, very volatile for past so many trading sessions. And gap down, reversal, gap up, reversal, and this game has been going on for a long time. However, I will not suggest you to keep shorting the market because, although there is escalation, it is not a full-scale war. So there is a limited strikes are happening. And I'm sure behind the doors, there might be some talks going on, which may not come to the public. And who knows, suddenly tomorrow or day after tomorrow, if they come and announce some ceasefire, again there'll be a big gap up. So therefore, I would suggest you, if at all you are selling, short-term options, and have the complete hedge, and make sure that your loss is, predetermined. Don't sell naked calls. And otherwise, what you can do, you can sell options at least 1,000 point away, 24,300 and above. But 24,300 and above, the premiums may not be good, but you can always go and sell the call options in the next month series, July series. So July series premiums are still very decent. And even why I'm saying 24,300, because that is a 50% Fibonacci retracement, of the entire, fall from 6,400 to 26,400 to 22,200. So that is one thing. Second thing, there were two incidences, Iran ceasefire news and US trade deal news. Both days Nifty shot up nearly 1,000 point. So therefore, if you stay more than 1,000 point away, yeah, you can manage. You can more or less safe, we can say. So, remember when everything is looking very, very bearish, so that is when some good news comes and then market shoots up. But for short term, you can see, if I look at the open interest, and 23,500 is having the highest open interest. Right? So this highest open interest indicates that 23,000 to 23,500 is the range. And not only that, so yesterday the people have taken 23,200 straddle also. So the combined premium is only about 350 point. And so that means the upper break-even is 23,550 and lower break-even is 22,850, right? So now the people strongly believe that, that 22,850 may be a good support, okay? So far, remember, Nifty has not broken 23,000. I think the recent low is 23,070, but probably who knows, today that might be taken out. Because right now while I'm talking, the GIFT Nifty is falling further. Right now it's indicating about 120 points. But put call ratio was still not in the oversold zone, and put call ratio stands at 0.82. Like still people feel that, this market has a potential to, potential downside is limited. So that's why they dare to sell put options. So all is not well with our market, but things can change overnight. So that is the main problem. Investors need to worry on only one side of the market, but the traders have to worry both sides of the market. Sometimes you sell call option and put option, market goes down, you lose money in put option, market goes up, you might lose money in call option. So it's a two-way thing. And other than that, it's going to be just a consolidation. Wait for the Nifty to break 23,000. That is a time to take a bearish view, or wait for the Nifty to cross 23,500. So that is the time to take a bullish view. But until then, this is going to be the game as usual: gap down reversal, gap up reversal, and so on. That reversal also happening at least 150 to 200 point. And if it is a 150 point, that means it's a rare day. And 200 points is the regular day. So this is how this market is behaving, because there is a lot of fighting between FIIs and DIIs, right? So keep watching for the global news. Yesterday also I told you around 12:45 there was some news that Iran attacked Bahrain, Kuwait, Jordan, like that. So that is how the market made a complete reversal. And also note that the crude oil prices, although it has gone up, but it is still not the worrying level. As long as it's trading below $100, so there is nothing to worry much, because you remember at the peak it even went up to $120. Now with this so much of a problem, and still it is trading around $95. And positive things first, okay. Number one, as I told you, the crude oil are not reacting, okay. And number two, the strikes. You see, it's not an unlimited strike, or it's not a full-blown war. It's a limited strike. And number three, they are like yesterday, Trump has announced that he has helped about 200 ships to pass through the Straits of Hormuz silently, right? So by hook or crook, all the governments cannot tell everything openly, but by hook or crook, they will achieve what they wanted to do. And as long as you don't see petrol and diesel, unavailability, that means, more than 100 days of war, we are getting 80% of our crude oil through Straits of Hormuz. But still, a common man like you and me go to the petrol bunk and we are still getting petrol, we are still getting diesel, right? We are paying a slightly higher price, that's a different story, but at least you are getting it. So the day you don't get it, and that is when you have to get panic. So the hopes are there that, in the next few days, that some kind of a agreement will be reached. And moreover, this I have told you many times, I'll tell you once again. So if there is a peace meeting tomorrow between you and me, tonight itself, I will have to show my complete strength to you, and you have to show your complete strength to me, so that that will decide who will have an upper hand tomorrow morning on the negotiation table. So we can say that this kind of strikes are not really intended for the war, and they are intended to show their upper hand while they are coming to the negotiation table. So that is how the market is reading. So that's why the global markets are not reacting. And of course, artificial intelligence related stocks are falling because, they all shot up, 2 times, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times, So naturally, there'll be some profit booking. Yesterday only I read somewhere, the artificial intelligence related exchange traded fund, it is still 80% plus for this year, or last 1 year, or year to date, I do not know. I didn't read that report exactly. So even after falling so much, they're still higher. Look at the Nasdaq. In just 2 months' time, it went from 23,000 to 31,000. I think it went even beyond 31,000, 31,400 something. There was a 32% rally in just 2 months. Right? So naturally, there will be some profit booking. Right? But in India, we did not go anywhere. Right? So, there is no reason for us to book profit. There is a reason for us to book only the losses. Right? So I bought some Nifty Bs, long back, I think in December 2024, right? And then, I decided to exit. I did not make loss, but the thing is, for 1.5 years, I did not make profit also. But during the same time, I parked only about 10% of my capital, not even 10%, must be 5%. And most of my capital lie in debt mutual funds. Right? And during this period, the debt mutual funds have given, more than 15% return. So whereas the Nifty has not given any return, but although, of course, through some kind of a hedging, so I made about 4-5% return. But 4-5% return for a period of 1.5 years to 2 years, is just nothing. It's about 1.5 years. So I decided to exit few days before, and then, I'm parking all my money once again in debt mutual fund. So right now, I prefer to keep 100% in debt mutual funds. But there's still some small amount, maybe not even 1% of my capital parked in some stocks which are in loss. And I bought TCS when it came to around 3,000 rupees, right? And now it has fallen so much. And I also bought few other shares like Jyoti Laboratories, Bombay Burma Trading Corporation, KCP Limited. So I think these few stocks, but like a very, very small quantity, like 1 lakh rupees, 2 lakh rupees, which I decided to hold on. And I will not like to buy an average now. I will wait for, confirmation that this Iran problem is over. So then only I will be planning to buy and average. So that is the thing. So clearly 23,000 to 23,500 is the range, and keep watching for banks, especially PSU banks are falling, private sector banks are rising. And then Reliance Industries, 11 days, very bad. So we have to see 12th day, it's going to recover or not. And I don't think that I have ever seen Reliance Industries falling like this, almost on a day-to-day basis. At some point of time, the promoter entity themselves might be coming and doing buying, but they may not be buying in their own account. They may be buying through their Benami account, and they will try to stabilize the market. But this time, that is also not happening. So let us see. So what is in store? So the longer the consolidation. Yesterday evening, I told you the next leg is going to be very, very powerful. But the only thing is that next leg is going to be on the higher side after crossing 23,500, or that next leg is going to be, lower side after breaking 23,000. Once Nifty breaks 23,000, then the next support is only 22,200. So that is a picture right now. So let us see what's going to happen. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you for watching.